From 1923 to 1933, in just 10 years, Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany. So, how was this possible? Remember that in 1923, the Munich Putsch was a disaster, and Hitler was arrested and spent 9 or 10 months approximately in prison. But his opportunity came with the Great Depression. Remember when in the 1922 Great Depression, the United States started to claim their money to different countries, and among those countries was Germany. And Germany was devastated economically speaking. During the summer of 1932, the parliamentary system broke down. There was no chancellor who could retain a majority in the Reichstag. By the way, Hitler was a demagogue, and he started to gain support not only of the high classes but also from the masses. For example, to the unemployed, he promised job opportunities. To the wealthy, he promised to smash communists. And to the population in general, he promised to take revenge of the Treaty of Versailles. So in that elections of 1932, the Nazis became the largest single party in Germany with 230 seats in the Reichstag. But they didn't have the majority. But as they had so many votes, Hitler demanded the president, who at that time was Hindenburg, an old hero of the war. He claimed the position of Chancellor. Hindenburg didn't trust Hitler, so he allowed Franz von Papen, the current Chancellor at that time, to continue. However, von Papen was in trouble. He had virtually no support at all in the Reichstag, and so called another election in November 1932. Hitler was absolutely sure that he was going to win, or the Nazi party was going to win. But Hitler regarded after the elections, with the results of the election, he regarded the elections as a disaster for the Nazis. They had lost more than 2 million votes with 38 seats in the Reichstag. The Nazis started to run out of funds, and the moment came for desperation. Hitler is said to have threatened suicide because of this. So Hitler continued with this claim of to Hindenburg to be the Chancellor, but one more time Hindenburg refused and appointed another Chancellor, Kurt von Schleicher, one of his own advisors, but he was also forced to resign. By this time, it was clear that the Weimar system of government was at its collapse. Through January 1933, Hindenburg and von Papen carried on some meetings with industrialists, with politicians, and also with bankers. And surprisingly for everybody, they named Hitler as Chancellor. It was surprising for the population, but not for the president, because the Nazi party had the support of the lower classes and also industrialists and bankers, that is to say, the higher classes. So many people believed that Hitler would not remain in power for long. Even fewer thought that by the summer of 1934 he would be the supreme dictator of Germany. He achieved this through a clever combination of methods, some legal, some illegal, but he managed to defeat their opponents. Once he was Chancellor, Hitler took steps to complete the Nazi takeover of Germany. He called another election in March 1933 to try to get an overall majority in the Reichstag. Although the Nazi party obtained more votes, they couldn't reach that majority. Then, on February, there was a dramatic development. The Reichstag building was burned down. Hitler blamed the communists and declared that the fire was the beginning of a communist uprising. So he demanded special emergency powers to deal with the situation. There have been many theories about what caused the fire, including that it was an accident, and some people believe that it was the Nazis that started the fire. As a chancellor, Hitler acted quickly. Within a year, any opponents or potential opponents of the Nazis had either left Germany or been taken to special concentration camps run by the SS. Other political parties, as one of the principles of fascism, were banned. Hitler was still not entirely secure, however. The leading officers in the army were not impressed by him and were particularly suspicious of Hitler's SA and its leader Ernst Röhm. The SA, or the Stormtrooper, were the brown shirts, that is to say, the Nazi army. It was a badly disciplined force, and what is more, Röhm talked of making the SA into a second German army. But Hitler himself was also suspicious of Röhm. Hitler feared him, feared that he could control the 4 million SA men, and that is why the Night of Long Knives occurred on the weekend of 29 and 30 June. Squads of the SAs, that is to say, the SS was the official German army, broke into the homes of Röhm and other leading figures of the SA and arrested and executed them. Hindenburg, still the president, thanked Hitler for this determined action, which has nipped treason in the bud, he said. The army said it was well satisfied with the events of the weekend. The SA was not disbanded afterwards because it remained as a Nazi paramilitary organization. But soon after the Night of the Long Knives, Hindenburg died and Hitler took over as a supreme leader, der Führer, on Germany. So on August 1934, the entire army swore an oath of personal loyalty to Adolf Hitler as Führer of Germany. And that is when Hitler took control of all Germany, and this was an intimidating cause of World War II. See you next class with the World War II. Bye-bye.